there is a very interesting point that I wanted to share with you, to try to explain, although I do not have a full explanation. You heard people speaking here about settling Gaza. We in the course of the year and a half since the breakout of the war in Gaza, we organized marches, rallies, meetings, parlor meetings, hundreds of parlor meetings, hundreds of meetings in the Knesset, tens of meetings with ministers. There is one word that nobody in the government or in the Knesset or in the political circles, one word that no one is ready to utter.
Daniella?
This is a humongous phrase, but it's not.
Okay, yeah, somebody to say.
Bring her to all the rallies.
One word that cannot be uttered.
Resettlement.
Hunger?
Hunger.
To conquer? You're close.
Resettle.
Resettle.
זהו.
Yeah.
התיישבות, settlement.
Yes.
You know, in my endless attempts to find the psychological, sociological, religious, any kind of reason or explanation, why is it so difficult to say התיישבות? התיישבות means the act of settlement. Why? 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 It came to the point that the most extreme thing, the transfer of the Gazans, once it got legitimacy from President Trump, wow, like what a big zerem, stream. Transfer. Boy, don't forget, Rav Kahana, Gandhi, other people were expelled from the Knesset because they did say that the Jews should have their country and the Arabs have 21 other countries. But no, you couldn't say it. Okay, so finally, on the show, on the stage of the world, showed up President Trump, and he said, in the beginning, maybe transfer, but then he used a softer term, miratzon, like hagira miratzon, emigration out of their own will, and so. But like the stream opened, what remained an unspoken word? Settlement. You have any guess? I'm looking for answers. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. So I try to look for answers in the realm, in the world of emunah, faith.
Amen.
It's the deepest thing. What is to redeem the land? Redeem the land. It's not an abstract term. To redeem the land means to take a spade, to take a plan, to hold to it, to establish, to build, to grow, to love, to see the settlements growing one after the other. This is real life, real Jewish life in the land of Israel. This is the holiest of holy. To touch this, I dare. You dare. My husband sometimes dares. But he warns me not to rush. And I'm speaking about basic things. But this is the core. I said I don't have an answer, but I do try to get an answer. It's the core, it's the essence, the spine It's the basis. The word redeem is sounds more abstract. We redeem the land. But to settle, actually, to take a bare hilt and to turn it into a living body, this is as threatening as anything could be. So you wouldn't believe it. I'm telling you, you believe me because I'm telling you the truth of life. I was in a meeting in the Knesset. There were ministers, I think 5 or 6 ministers, like 15 members of Knesset. The idea was, the title was Eretz Israel, Gaza. What was the talk about? Hagira, immigration of the Gazans. No word about settling. So when I speak to people in the envelope settlements, they say, I want to see the sea. I want to see the sand. I want the Gazans to be somewhere else. Say settlement.
Yes.
Say Yishuvim.
Yes.
Say we want work to land. So at the end of the meeting last week, Judy, be'emet, the end of the meeting, Minister of Finance, who just passed the budget of Israel, 600 billion shekel. At the end, after 4 hours of discussions, he said, and for Daniella, I say settlement. The minister who lives here,
He lives here.
he says it. He said it for me.
Okay.
It's a private favor. It's something personal. It's a compliment, a personal compliment. I mean, when we speak about religion, Roger, when you speak to your congregation, I want you to know it's in the faith that you have the clue to life. And this is how I see it here. I cannot understand why the most obvious thing is the hardest to say. There is an expression, there's nothing more difficult than to prove the obvious.
Yes.
Nothing more. When it comes to the land of Israel, it's impossible. And what I'm telling you, the emet at the end of 4-hour discussion when they speak about transfer, about countries who are ready to get the Gazans and this and that and that and this, for me, as a private favor, Hitcheshvut settlement. I wanted you to know that it is thanks to what you know so well about Judea and Samaria and all the experience that I personally got, my husband, Judy, and our friends, that what we are trying to do and will succeed to do in Gaza is, I call it copy paste from Judea and Samaria.
Yes.
Copy paste. You know, when I do copy, I see to it that the finger doesn't evaporate. That it will stay until I do the paste. Yes. I don't let it touch anything. Just paste. If it touch something, it will be pasted here. So what I do, copy the way we started. And today I was in Itzhar. You know the community of Itzhar, not far from here. I had my wheel punctured. By the way, I want you to know something experience from last night. When your car pulls this direction, it means
You got a flat
you
tire.
got a flat tire. And I'm driving already 65, 70 years, who knows, who counts. And I say, why the car goes like this? Not only the car, also the steering. And I say, I must go to the garage. I must go to the garage. In the morning, sure enough, the tire is flat. It's not the car, it's the tire. So there I go today to Itzhar, and there I see a whole world, a huge city. I remember, believe me, I remember when there was one building there, and it was destroyed. and then we rebuilt it, and again, until it managed to stay. And today you see hundreds of hills all covered. Today I saw it, it was even bigger than I thought it.
Wow.
So I say, the way we did, and I have to always take with me the map, which is so important, and I know I showed it to you a number of times, and all this that you see here, and this I have copies, don't
Okay. A map from paper, not waves.
all
yes.
this did not exist. All of it, nothing. And when I speak about how it started, I say one house here and another house there, and a lot of effort, and the same thing we did here, we will do in Gaza.
Amen.
Ah.
Right now, we have 6 big groups in which there are enrolled more than 800 families.
Wow.
And they are going to move to Gaza instantly. Now,
Wow.
people always ask me, when?
Yeah.
I say, now. It can. You know, Damascus and Syria. Syria was an empire until not many months ago.
Yeah.
It's another thing that there's terrorists there now, but it seemed that it was a country to last forever. Things change quickly when it is and it is always in the hands of God. So what I say to the members of Nachala movement, to the members of the Garinim, of the groups that are ready to go to Gaza, you should all have backpacks ready with biscuits, and each one with a bottle of water.
Yes.
Yes.
And don't start speaking. When will the generator come? When will the tanker come? When will the food be? When will we have mashed potatoes? No mashed potatoes. Crackers, biscuits. That's it. And I can assure you, it works. And one of the things that our movement succeeded very much in is the establishing of the town of Evyatar, not far from here. I don't know if you had the chance to see it, but I remember the moment. Unfortunately, like so many things, was after the murder of 4 young boys near Eli. Prime Minister Netanyahu said to our management, to Nachala management, it was, after the murder, things changed for a short while. They say, you can move into Evyatar, which was a bare hill, now. Only a few. So I said, and this is the moment for the biscuits. This is the moment when you don't start planning. I need this, you don't need anything. You don't need a shower. You don't need to think of changing clothes. No, you move. And it worked exactly this way. And this is how I imagine. I don't know what will be the moment. I don't know exactly how it will be, but in a similar way, when the basis, the principle, the basic idea is be ready to move now. And I want you to know that on many occasions in the story of Zionism and history of Zionism, settlements and towns and different outposts started when people moved instantly, when the option opened and they didn't wait. And so there is a famous story in Zionism before the War of Independence that 11 settlements were established in one night.
Wow.
And if it weren't for this, the whole Negev area wouldn't have been in our hands. Now, I want you to know that in addition to everything that I'm telling you now, we do not stop even for one moment to do political work. We meet members of Knesset, we meet ministers, we have a lot of meetings with political people, with media people. We do not choose just the path of practical Zionism and practical act of pioneering, we combine political work, fact on the ground, and public support. And this is why I showed you the big march and the other things to show. We'll see how it works in the course of the evening, and depends on. I don't forget that you are pioneers and workers, and that you must be tired. And it was a hot day today. I think it is very important that you understand how we work in Israel. When we want to proceed with one achievement after the other, and now with the huge thing of establishing Jewish communities in Gaza, that we do political work, we organize big public meetings, assemblies, marches, and I have a surprise for you. We are going in the very near future, I mean within 2 months, to establish a new community. We have already ordered 40 trade caravans, and we will be living next to the border. 40 families enrolled already. Immediately when we have the slightest opening, we move from this temporary site into Gaza. Now it is very important for you to know that in the army there has been, from the beginning of the IDF, there's been Nachal, Noach Halutzi Lochem, pioneering, fighting youth, people like you, who combined their military service with establishing new communities. So this is one of the ideas, one of the directions that we are trying to develop in connection with Gaza. And the last point that I want to make in this opening is that actually, as you see on my face and my words, I'm a very optimistic person. Even in very difficult times, I find elements of optimism. And even now, even with the fact that every day we are praying and planning and yearning for the moment that all the hostages be released.
Amen.
Amen. We believe that it was the will of God that such a terrible thing happened, and I try to see from it. I choose the words carefully. I try to elicit from it the lesson. This is a good word. The lesson, the right lesson from this terrible punishment that was imposed on us. I noticed that there is a very, very strong awakening in spiritual thinking, in thinking of emunah, of faith, of people reaching out to God. We want to explain, to understand how God does not explain, but we have to try to understand. People are reaching out to emunah, to faith. And it is obvious, we see it amongst the hostages that are being released, that they all say that they, in the most difficult moments, they were thinking about God, they were praying to God, and they were, they like sort of returning to emotional and faith circles which had not belonged to them before. So I feel, as a religious person, as a person of faith, that God wanted sort of shake us, waken us to think less of materialistic thing and more of our of the obligation of the human being to be a believer and faithful to God. We here are all faithful to our homeland, but above it, there is this faith in God. So when I try to look for the the lesson that we can learn amongst others is a lesson in emunah, in faith.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you very much. And at your service for questions, political, emunah, faith, history, army tactics, and anything. Okay, of course you will do that.
That's why I came over.
Okay. Teacher that I am.
How is Israel going to depose of the Arabs in Gaza to make room for the resettlement?
ישעיהו, יחזקאל, ירמיהו, איזה ספר אתה?
ישעיהו, Isaiah.
Please, nobody is thinking about me, but you being young, can you get me half a glass of water?
Very funny.
Daniela, if you could answer his question, it would be great. He's been asking me this for 3 months,
Yes.
and I can't answer the question, so you can answer it. It's good.
I have clear answer.
Okay.
How come you don't have an answer?
I have an answer, but my answer is,
Yeah, okay.
I have an answer.
Okay, you do it.
It's a crazy answer.
No.
I think the Trump administration should deport 4 million Muslims. If they're associated with terrorist type mosques, move them out.
And the
Take all of the
States?
Gazans and distribute them in the United States of America
Okay.
and
Why
re-educate
do you
them
take it upon yourself?
and re-educate them and assimilate them into American culture. Free up the entire strip. That's my solution.
I wouldn't advise this to you, but
Daniela, I say if we do love Israel, we claim to be a country of Christians who love Israel, that's the only practical solution. No one else will do
there are
it.
many countries in the world, even Egypt now. It sounds sort of not modest to say, but I said many times that Egypt is in a very, very poor situation, economic situation, and it was offered by Trump that he gave through his different emissaries that he gives them some billions of dollars, and they take like 200,000, 300,000, and also some in Spain and some in other African countries, and you know. In the war in Syria, in the war in Afghanistan, in the war in Iraq, all these wars, millions of refugees move to one country to the other.
Yes.
The only reason it is not so automatic in Gaza is because when they are in Gaza, they give hell to us. It is pure anti-Semitism.
Yes.
To leave the mine, the explosives under our road, and this is now. I think that President Trump, President of the United States, Donald Trump, did Israel a big favor, not just Israel, the Jewish nation, and the state of Israel, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, by raising the idea of the legitimacy of not immigration
Yes.
in time of war. But I want to complete the answer for you and for everybody. The Gazans, I don't know what percentage are sort of normal, but there are 20%, 30%, I think even more, people who want to have ordinary life. Hamas do do not let them have. So it's not that we transfer them, we enable those who want to live normally, move. And wait a second, today, when you're working in
Yeah.
the park,
We know.
so you don't have time to watch important news. But there is important news.
Yes.
Here and there, do open them.
That's good.
Yeah, I know. Today, there are already riots in different cities in Gaza, of Gazans who say the Hamas torture us. The Hamas are giving us hell. So I think the Hamas should be killed. The others should be taken away from there because Hamas will rise every time because the motivation is to cause us harm. If you ask me if it is possible, not only is it possible, it's a must because what they did to us will never be forgiven. So they cannot stay on this land because they make this land טמא.
Trade.
לא טרף, לא בעברית ולא ביידיש, desecrated. That's it.
Yes.
Enough is enough. The end of it. To me, if you believe in what I say, because of the things that I did, I am telling you here and now and today, here and now, the Gazans will not stay in Gaza. Remember these words. Another question? Yes.
The word settlement, why can't we just change, why can't, that be changed to communities instead of settlements?
I love the words that the left hate. I love them. And you know, I want you to know, the word settlement and the word itnachalut in Hebrew is the word that was used for Hadera and Gadera and Petach Tikva and Zichron and Rishon. This is the pure word of modern Zionism, התנחלות. And notice when you, מישהו כאן יודע איך אומרים בערבית מתנחלים, יש איזו מילה, הם אומרים מתנחלים, אבל יש עוד מילה. The Arabs, סליחה, when they want to show a real threat on Islam, they say מתנחלים in Arabic too. Because we represent emunah, faith, because we represent power, we represent the Zionism, we represent the power of the Jewish nation in the Holy Land. This is why I cannot get away with that. With it. People tell me, you know, even people who give us big contributions for this settlements, they say, please change the word, don't use anymore the word settlement. I said, dafka. You know what dafka is? Dafka. On purpose, I use it. Because people who want to speak against us, they change the word. Mitnachalim. Yes, mitnachalim is power. Mitnachalim is yahadut. Mitnachalim is Zionism. I will use it with pride. You know, like they say, why do you say Arabi, Arab? Say Jew. I'm proud that you say you're a Jew. Of course, I'm proud. And you're an Arab, why aren't you proud of it? You're an Arab and I'm a Jew. Be proud of what you are.
Yes.
I'm a woman, you are a man. I'm proud of being a woman. What's wrong with it? Another question? Thank you. Okay, בבקשה, you, and then you.
Where do you see people like us, Christians, in regards to this resettlement, as far as like playing a role?
No. You know, has everybody heard? Ask it again because I think it's an excellent question.
Where do you see people like us, Christians, in the picture of this resettlement?
You know, I'll tell you something which will illustrate. Sometimes an illustration makes the answer clear. Prime Minister Netanyahu went to the United States to give a speech in the Congress.
Congress.
So many people from the left, they put obstacles in his way. It was very, very ugly. Then I had a meeting with his deputy Minister of Justice, Yariv Levin. And he's a very, the opposite of me. So, but we are good friends. Maybe it's opposites.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said to him, Yariv, we're very close. He's very high, very high. Yariv, why don't you express your support of Prime Minister Netanyahu when he goes on such an important mission and the whole world watches him? So he said to me, I spoke to him and I congratulated him and I wished him success. And I started screaming. Actually, I think I'm the only person who screams in presence of ministers. So I say, Yariv Levin, I want you to understand, you are a prominent public figure. The Prime Minister of Israel is under such attack from the left, and you whisper into his ear, I wish you success. I want you to put an ad in a newspaper which costs 50,000 shekels. We, ministers of the Likud party, congratulate Prime Minister Netanyahu on his universal, gigantic mission for the good of the world, as was said here. No. First of all, באמת, I swear, בואי לכאן, את יכולה ללכת? His secretary, who's usually also a secretary, she came to me and she did, thank you for doing this once in a lifetime. זה מה שהיה. Lila, her name is alive, everything can be checked.
Wait, that girl that's gonna talk now, I just wanna tell you, היא בדיוק בגיל של רותם ומיכלי. Her youngest is your age also.
אז אני רוצה
זהו,
ללמוד
so,
את זה.
and her name is Anna.
Anna,
Oh.
so I finished. Why did I give you this alone?
She's one of the girls.
Because, רק שנייה ג'ודי, זה חשוב. When you sound support, a letter, an ad, a voice, sometimes there are moments when saying things out loud, and you find ways to do it.
Yes.
Even you finish, you can put, you write a letter to the minister, you can write an open letter, you can put an ad, you can send a pile of letters, now we have the WhatsApp and the emails. You express your support of what we do here, not just between you and him and you and me. Find ways to give expression to your love for us, to your support, to your admiration if you admire it. Find ways to do it in the United States, in here. I know that the system in the United States is that there are my senator, my congressman, the person whom I can address. You have to find ways to them, and you have to be insistent and consistent. And it's not just what I feel and that you applaud here. You find ways to give expression to it. And the fact that you come here and you do this dedicated work on the land gives support to the entire community. And I want you to know that Park Hatznirim is a center of recreation and activities for communities from all over the area. It has become a famous place for entertainment. So what you do the right thing, continue, be consistent and insistent, and you will help us a lot. תודה רבה.
Anna, you wanted to ask something, no?
Yes, it's a comment.
Yes.
First, it's a great joy to meet you in person. Every time you are mentioned, it's with so much respect, so much love. and we are all aware that you've been nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize.
You
But,
will be invited to this.
Awesome. But I want to say that to us, you already have won the award of
Yes.
Righteous Living by Faith Like Abraham Award.
You know, Danielle, we have an expression in the States, it's an expression I use a lot. We can have good problems or bad problems. Israel is facing a good problem, and that good problem is the Olim that's going to be coming into this country, coming back to this land. In
That's what I
years to
tell them in
come.
school, they have to know English now.
Yesterday from France, plane loads of Olim coming here, making aliyah to live here permanently. It's going to happen more and more from all over the world, from Australia. Before long, you'll be seeing Australians making aliyah. And that's a good problem. That's a problem Israel needs. And you'll figure it out. The good thing about good problems is you learn to figure them out.
We say in Israel, we have, thank you for these encouraging words. I see eye to eye with you and with your analysis and your good prophecy. We say in Israel that we very much like Olim, Aliyah, immigration. We don't like so much the Olim. We like the movement, but the individuals are a set of problems. Well, I'm in love with the idea. When you have to cope with each problem, it's a, but
problem.
we manage.
Good problem.
We have managed up till now, and we will in the future. Certain places like Netanya and even Tel Aviv, I saw yesterday, many people speak French, which shows that something is moving.
Netanya is the center of the immigration for France.
Netanya,
Netanya. Okay,
More and more,
Bakasha.
more and more, more and more.
And when there's a gentleman here who's willing to.
I get very frustrated over the situation now.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind that Hamas should be completely wiped. There's no doubt in my mind Israel can do it, and I'm not just like that. But if they do, most of the hostages, if not all of them, will die.
No, not necessarily.
How do you see that?
I see that because power, when the IDF and the government show power, power intimidates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a clear picture that as we get stronger, even now, you saw that the Hamas, who said that they will not speak with us, the moment the new chief of staff showed more power, more confidence, more, it was more decisive, and they opened the gate anew because it was closed before.
Right.
It worked with the Arabs all the time, and it will work now too. This is the way I see
think
it.
the pressure's going to go up.
Bezrat Hashem.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Yeah, you at the end, please. Yeah.
If Hamas, which I agree, needs to be destroyed, I don't see what motivation Hamas would ever have to release all the hostages, because that's the one thing I feel like they have that keeps Israel from just completely obliterating them right now, currently. So, to Tom's point, it almost seems like either Israel has to just take the upper hand and destroy and have the hostages as casualties, as a sad part of it, because I don't necessarily see, unless they do a secret operation to try to rescue them, I don't see Hamas ever releasing them all, because once they do that, that's the one thing that they have to keep them from being destroyed.
I will complete my answer with another aspect, which was actually the core of all the exposition here that I made in connection with the attitude of our movement, my personal philosophy about Gaza being an inseparable part of the Holy Land. Hamas had 60,000 casualties. More, 60,000. Hundreds of thousands wounded. Towns were destroyed. The one thing that frightens them is that we take piece of land, the
Yes.
soil. This is what we spoke about, and that was like a chain going all through my story here. This is why what I do every day when I'm not with you, today I'm with you, is I speak about taking the land from the Gazans. It will intimidate, it will change, not only take it, let us live there. Believe me, one settlement, yes, settlement, in the northern part of Gaza, all the hostages will be in our hands. That's because this is the tender point, this is the heart, the core of the issue, the land. So what I keep insisting, and keep speaking on the TV, in the Knesset, in endless meetings, let us establish even one community in what is called the Gaza Strip. You will see that all the atmosphere, all the attitude, everything will change in our direction and in favor of the hostages. How do I know it? I know it from Judaism. This is our faith and this is our history. Be'ezrat Hashem, God willing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.